Hi Daria, I'm looking at the photos that you've been doing and um, they're looking great, they're really looking good. Um, Having said that, there are some images which are very tricky, and this is um, one of those images. I didn't shoot this image, this is a sourced image, and I really didn't have a lot, there wasn't a lot available. So unfortunately, this is like the best image that I've got, but it's a good opportunity to um, create a video and um, try out one of these more difficult images and see if we can get it to look a little bit better than the usual. You might have to pull a few tricks out of the bag to get this one to be passable. So I'll jump right into it. The first thing is the sharpening, and if I turn, so with the sharpening, if I pull the radius down, that's actually the smart sharpening isn't doing us a lot of favors here, because when I turn it up, the highlights are really starting to be pronounced. So I can go into the fade amount and bring this down, and we'll see. No, that's going the wrong way. So the tonal width, no. Let's try the shadows. Yeah, the shadows, okay. So brought that back up. Now if I just hit preview, so now it's sharpening, but it's not, it's still really can't get away with much sharpening on this image. So that's probably going to have to do. So I'll just leave it there. There's some pixelation on his nose, which is quite distracting. It's just not a very good shot. So what happens if we reduce the noise a little bit? It's probably beneficial on this one to reduce some noise. I'll just hit preview again. Yeah, it's an image that really can't be sharpened a heck of a lot at all. It actually doesn't help it. So we'll leave it that way for now. First up, I might I'll go in and do some corrections on this one, and you can kind of see that the whole image is a little bit on the green side. The people are looking a bit green. I mean, there's a lot of green in the background, obviously, but the people have like a green cast on them. And the way to fix that is with selective color. And we'll just quickly go through that. So I'm actually increasing the yellow there. That's making them look a little bit more natural. And a little bit of magenta is making them look more natural once again. The blacks have started to look a bit more saturated. Okay, so very quickly we've just taken it from green to a little bit more of a natural color balance. Now skin tones, let's have a look at the reds and yellows. So it's looking a little bit red. Just trying to make their skin look a little bit more pleasing. And the yellows. As I said, I've seen some of your other images, and they're looking really good. It's these type of images where time needs to be spent. Some images are easy, some are quite difficult. and these ones are the challenging ones. So what else? Yeah, greens, cyans. You know, that's probably all okay. Now I might do a color balance on this, just because I think all the colors are a little bit, once again, this is dealing with color casts, so making it a little bit more warm and natural. Shadows. So it's starting to look more like a normal photo now, rather than something that was shot, you know, 20 years ago on slides and, you know, having to be converted. So yeah, marginal, not really much in that. And right, now that I've tackled the those color casts, we'll have a look at vibrance, see if we can get anything out of it. And starting to oversaturate the colors, so there's not really much, maybe a tiny bit, and a little bit in the saturation, not really much. So these images don't really lend themselves to being pushed, but that's okay, we'll just do what we can. So contrast, yeah, no, it's really making it harsh. Doing brightness, for the most part, brightness is something that you want to avoid anyway. I'll go into contrast. Yeah, that's actually starting to look better. It's just too contrasty. So I'll pull it back. It's looking a little bit more natural. I'll go back into vibrance. See if I can get any more in vibrance now. And a little bit more. Okay, so I'll just put that into a new layer. New group from layers. Okay, so I've introduced some color, a little bit more shade into the image. Before it was quite contrasty. There's a lot more shade happening there now. If I have a look at your edits, the contrast has really been, the tone's been sort of stripped out of it. And that's what happens with these challenging images. If you, they need a particular, you can't push things, otherwise they're very unforgiving. And yeah, so that's about all I can really do with that. It's quite a dark shot. It's not really boosted, doesn't look particularly any good, but it's all I've really got to work with. So the curves, you know, I probably wouldn't even go there, or exposure, because I know that when I start pushing these on this image, it's just going to, it's not going to produce a good result because the image isn't that great to begin with. I've got a little bit more in the offset there. No, but pushing that up is just really taking it into an over contrast. Yeah, well, now that's probably a final edit there, just making it pushed more in the blacks. So I'm happy with that. That image now is as good as it's going to get. And yeah, I just thought I'd run through that and show you some of these more challenging images and what you need to just be mindful of, because they are quite unforgiving. So yeah, but otherwise, as I said, I've looked at the other images and doing really good on the other images. It's just these images that cause problems. Thanks, Dario. Cheers.